Let's get a start with a demo of role-based authorization in .NET Blazor hybrid app using Firebase, right? So see here my application running. This is my window application, this is my web application, and this is my Android applications. So once I logged in any user which is does not have an admin user, so once you click that admin panel, so see this is that only admin rights, so you are not able to do that because you are not authorized. But if you go to other place which is access of that particular role, so you are able to see. Similar, you can just check it a window application as well. Like see, this is logged in with this user, this is a normal user that does not has a admin user, so click on that user list. So user list actually that manage that user management system, so user role, and also that is a we have allowed that allow to admin access, so nobody can access without that admin role, right? Similar, you can check it over here in our mobile app as well. So click on that in our user list, so now see you are able to see not authorized, and if you click that other parts, so you are able to see those are things, right? So same things we have to check, like okay, let me logged out this user from window first and logged in with the admin user, so click on that and logged in with that admin user and that my password and sign in. So once I sign in, now see, once now this time if I click that user list, now I'm able to see that user list, and I can easily manage that user and all without any issues, right? So like that way actually we will implement in this Blazor hybrid app how we can role-based authentication authorization actually implement in here, that we will do over here. So let's start to implementation. So before I start implementation, I'm especially recommend, if you first time visit my channel, so go to my channel which is .NET Real World Example, and you have to watch my last session in this .NET Blazor hybrid app series, which we have covered in last time, using that Firebase Storage, so how we can upload and file and all. So this is same series which is we are try to continue, so that have many session, like how we can use that Firebase real-time DB, how we can use that user management system, create update rule, and also everything actually we are doing in this series. So yeah, so you can just continue this one, so definitely we'll get an idea how we are actually have done previously. So same example I will take in from here from my GitHub link, right? So that I will open. So this is my that repository, so I will open in my Visual Studio and will continue. So that, so let me open. So this is my this is that project which is I open in my Visual Studio, and before implementation we will check okay what we have as of now, right? So after that we will start to implementation. So let me start on running in the window app. So my application got running over here. So as of now, see, the first time I'm logged in, so first time running my application, so it is asking me that user and password. So let me add that user. Suppose we have admin user, so go to that admin user, or just let me logged in with the normal user. So what is my normal user is that KKP, and this is my normal user, and this is my password, and sign in. So once you sign in, it is wrong I guess, so kkp@gmail.com, and password I guess I wrongly added over here. So let me logged in. Yeah, now see this is correct. And once I click the hotel list, now I'm able to see this is normal user, right? And once I click the user list, now see I'm getting some exception. So what is that exception? Okay, so this instance actually not working from here, this MAUI project. So that let me fix it. I already over here, but yeah, I think we have to miss out over here, but yeah, we can check it that web application as well. But yeah, let me fix it over here as well. Go to that my program.my application. Now see, this was already commented, so let me uncomment that. So this is that actually manage that your Firebase users, right? Authentication users, so that we have to using this way. So if you don't know how we can implement, and also definitely I'm recommend my previous series, so you will get an idea. So let me quickly uncomment it over here, but that already actually we have done in our web applications. So see, if you go down this main.program.cs file, and here this section, see, So that web application will work fine, but yeah, for window is not working. So that I fix it. I uncommented this section and save it and run it. Now see in actions. So now my application got running over here, and now if I go to that user list, now see I'm able to see that all that user list, and also I'm able to do anything. Like if I want to modify, so I'm able to do modify. So that is wrong, right? Because now current implementation, there is no authorization actually mechanism over there. So any user, if it is logged in user, so any user, either it is a normal user or admin user, so they can do anything. So right, so this is not a right way. So that we will restriction that particular user if only if that user has a permission of that admin role, so they able to do that admin facilities. If it is not, so they are not able to do that. So right, that we will implement over here. So let us start to implementation. Close that, and for that what I need to do, so first actually I have to go see there is a 3 project. So I have to go to that shared project, and in this share project I have to go to custom authentication, and in this custom authentication folder we have custom authentication state provider. So I have to go to this file, and in this file if you go to let me just collapse every on the method. There is a few method actually. So I have to go to this method, get authentication state provider. In here if you scroll down now, see previously just we have to add a claim only that user information, but we have to implement this role claim also. We have to get that role, and we have to add that claims inside that role claims, right? So that we have to actually implement over here. So what I need to do over here, I have to just implement I have to just need to get that particular user, what are the roles and all that particular user, right? So for that I have to create I have to call actually http client request, so that I can get that informations. And also one more thing actually we have, okay, so see this is fine. So here actually I have to just call that user informations, right? So how we can get it, we have that user token over here, and this user token we have to pass that particular API which is provide that Firebase. So they will return the all that user information, like what is the user, and along with that roles as well. So if you don't know that what is that API and all, so I'm especially recommend one more session, which is this Firebase Auth REST API. Now see, this is Firebase REST API, which have I mentioned, and actually I explain all that APIs, how we can use it and how we can get it all that information using that API as well. So using that API I will implement, and I will get that information over here. So first of all what I can do over here, I have to just create one HTTP client. So for that HTTP client I have to just inject that HTTP client, because I have to call that REST API using that HTTP client, right? So simply HTTP client over here, and just create that HTTP client and inject it in this as a private property, and use it, and use this injected HTTP client over here dot. I have to use that post async method, right? And in this post async method we have to pass this our URI as well as this content, right? And where is content means nothing, it is just body, actually whatever body actually we have to pass. So I have to just prepare that body. So let me just quickly prepare that body over here, like for example this, right? So what we are trying to see, simply I just create a body string content, and we have to pass that in our body ID token, because this body actually required that ID token. And what is that ID token? ID token nothing, it is just whatever logged in user they have a the token. So that token I have to pass it over here. So as of now, see this is user info, and in this user info dot we have that credentials, and this in this credentials we have that ID tokens, right? So we have to just we don't require actually complaint information. Like for example if I show you, see we have stored that user info along with that credential info. So I don't think we have to require this user info, that we will skip and a little bit later. But yeah, let me just let me just implement, then we have to modify this storage as well. Like, we don't unnecessary storage we have to remove from there. Okay, so now see, I get it the token, and also we have mentioned, okay, it is a application.json type, so that we have to add it, and then we just pass as a body in this content property. And what would be my URL for that get informations? So this is my actually URL. So let me just pass it over here. So see, this is nothing, just http dash identity toolkit Google APIs version 1 account, and this in this account you have to pass that key, right? API key. So where you can get that API key, you will get that API key from that console app, which I already explained. I'm not going to details again, but yeah, you can get that API. And once you get that API, and see, this is that endpoint name, like accounts. So if you pass this accounts and pass that body, means the token, so they will return all that user information, like what is the role, what is the user information and all. They will get it and returning back over here. So let me quickly just add it over here as a await async, right? And store it is over here as a name, like for example as a user response. So let me store as a user response, right? So whatever API, means API HTTP client, or this API will be returning, we have to store in over here. So this is my username, right? Means that user informations. And once I have to make sure, like this, whatever API call is done, right, that is perfectly success or not, that we have to do like this way, ensure that status. So that means it will ensure, okay, this is success or fail. So once you success, what I need to do, I have to just read the data from this response. So how we can do that? It's simple. Again, I have to just create a variable user response, and using that user response and just contain and read all the string async method. So it will returning that all that response whatever we are getting from this here. And once I get, then we have to deserialize that response to over here. So how we can do that? It's very simple. Again, just using like this way, like system.json.serialization serializer dot deserialize, and passing that your user information model. So whatever our that JSON data as a string JSON data, they will actually deserialize and store in our user information. And for that, actually I already just declare user information, that I have to just change it to over here. So let me just change to user information to local user informations to over here, and change to this guy to over here, so that there is no confliction, right? So now on over here I am getting that user information, and there's a little things we have to do that. Okay, so we have to just create another model which will return that all that user information, right? So I already just created that previously in auth. Like if you go to here user auth, go to that user auth, right? So in here I will just create it on our user information like that. Let me just create it over here. Just simplest. Okay, so I just create a user information, and we have to just create another class of that user, which will return in a local ID, email ID, display name, and this is that important part actually. So whatever user has the role, right, so that will store in this custom attributes. So that we have to get it over here. Then we have to use that custom attributes, means whatever the roles and all we will get from here, right? So this is done. Now let me use this model and pass it to over here. Now see, it's already over there. That's fine. And one more thing, actually we have to do that JSON serialize options. Let me quickly create a JSON serialize option, so that it will handle all that naming convention and all, which will return in the response. So let me just declare over here as a private variable. It's just in nothing, just as a settings. So I just setting over here property naming policy would be a JSON naming policy camel case, right? So just we have to handle that camel case. So once you handle over here, now see, this is handling, and now we are getting that user information. And in this user information we have user information as an array, right, is a list of array, but we have get only single information, right? So what I can do, that I can just over here user information dot users dot first and default, and then email id, yeah, and that email. So like that actually we have to get that my user information. So let me change it to this guy also. That's it. Okay, so this is done. This is we have to modify, and once it's done, now we have to implement our role. We have to actually add our role claim inside that claims, right? So let me remove this guy, and let me remove this guy also, because just for that commented part over there previously I've decided because it was not implement. So first what I need to check, first actually I have to just check like whatever that property, like custom attribute property, right, inside that users. So that I have to check over here, like user info, users first and default, that custom attribute should not be null. If it is not null, so then whatever that custom property, right, we have, that we have to just again store is our in a dictionary. So let me just create that logic over here, and let me bring back over here so that you can easily see. Now see what I'm trying to do over is simply I just create a variable of dictionary, right, and which will now storing a string and bool over here. And here what I'm trying to do, I'm just again just JSON converting to deserialize particular type like dictionary, string and bool. And here whatever our data, like this is our data which is coming custom attribute, so whatever data we have, just simply convert it to as a dictionary. That we are trying to do over here, right? Because that that whatever that custom attributes which have like information as a string, but that string has a information like, okay, admin has a true, or is admin as a true, or is user as a true or false. So based on this actually we will get the data, and that we have to just convert it to as the over here. And then what I can do, I have to just put another logic over here which will get that values actually. So now like that, okay, so see this is settings where all the true, like, because see this dictionary can have multiple values, multiple rows which have true false, right? Suppose there's a 5 roles, but 2 roles has a only just true, like admin is true, or is user is true, but is HR is false, right? So that we have to just filter, okay, only just true value we have to filter from this settings. And after that we have to remap, like because we have get the data from is admin or is user, right? So that we have to change it to is admin to admin, and is user to user. So that we have to map it. So for mapping again we have to create another dictionary. So this is a key mapping dictionary. That key mapping dictionary we have to just create it over here, for example over here. So let me just create it over here so that you can get an idea what I'm trying to understand, what I'm trying to explain over here. So now see this key map, what we are getting that setting list, we are getting that is admin, is user, is HR, or is account. That actually while we register, so we have to store over here while we actually adding that role. So that's why I'm especially recommend go to my previous session where actually I just handle like, okay, how we can create a user management system using that Firebase authentication in this Blazor hybrid app. So that part actually I already covered. So now see I just created that key map which will just map to that whatever matching this word, so that will returning to admin, user, HR and account, right? So now go down, now see it is map also, and now we get that settings. Now this settings has all that list, like whatever that particular user has a roles, right, that we are getting over here. And once I get, so now we can add that using that for each loop, or we can use that link query, whatever is preference, so we can use it. But as of now I will use that. So see this is this collection, and we want to add one by one whatever role inside this claims, so that claims has that roles, right? So this is actually simple logic we have to implement over here to get that user information and add inside that claims. So once I done, that is done, right? We don't need to do anything over here. That is perfectly fine. So once is done, now we are good to go to check. Okay, so now what I will do, now just save it. Okay, and go to all that components. Like this is a page, right? So previously this account section, user section, and here we don't have set any attribute and authentications over here, right? So that we have to set it over here actually. So that way actually we have to restrict actually this page. So only whatever roles we have, that particular logged in user and that particular role access this particular page or particular component, right? So for that, what I can do, it's simply we have to just set one of the attribute, which is that like that. Okay, attribute authorize roles and that admin. If you want to allow that multiple roles, like for example user, so you can add it like that. Okay, like this way we can do that. But yeah, for this page, this user page, which will manage that user management, so that only admin can allow that access, right? That we will do. And same things we have to do that for add update user, so that add update component also allow for that admin user, so that only admin user can do that, this feature, right? And similar things we have to do, like for example we have other page, right? For example register, login and log out. That is fine, there is no need to set any restriction. So if you go to that hotel page, so in this list page, right? So see, previously we have to set only just authorize, like if it logged in user, so anyone, like any roles, right? So if it is logged in user, so only that logged in user can do that with the any roles. But now we have to stick over here whatever that particular roles they can allow to access, right? So for that we can just add over here, for example let me change it to this, to like roles, like user also can able to access this page, admin also can access this page, and moderate allow access to this page, right? Otherwise is if any other users, no one can access this page, right? Like this way we can do that. And similar we can do that for that other component as well. For example, now detail page, let me allow this page also, like user, admin and moderate. And what other space? Okay, it's for delete as well. So delete, yeah, so delete also we can add it, but this is just simple as a reusable component, so we don't require that. But yeah, we can set it for that over here. And also add update user, that also we can set it over here, right? So now we are good. Okay, so there is no other page over here, but yeah, we can do for that blog list as well. So that also we can set it over here. For blog list only, just I can mention admin user, not moderate user, right? So yeah, that's fine. Like this way actually, just for the understanding perspective, what I'm trying to do, I'm just set that roles, the particular component, so that only those user roles can access that page, right? And similar things we can do one more things actually. If you go to that component layout level, so go to that layout and go to that navigation part. Now see, here also we have set that authorize view, right? And also you can restrict over here as well. Like for example, see this navigation, like user navigation, right? So this navigation can only authentication user can allow actually see the navigation, right? So that also we can set over here. For example, if I set that roles, and in this roles also if I set that admin, so only once admin role admin user can logged in, so they can able to see this navigation, otherwise they are not able to see that navigations, right? So that is another things. But yeah, leave it as of now, just for understanding purpose I will show you and save it. And one more thing actually we have to do that over here. Now see, yeah, so that's fine, I'll show you what is that issue, so that we will fix it. Okay, so let me build it and try to run and see then action. Actually I as per my understanding, I will get one issue that I will show you. Okay, now build succeed over here. Now try to run over here and see in our output. Okay, now see, I'm getting that one error. What is that error? It is saying authentication is state in the scope, unable to scope on the active on the HTTP client, right? So that actually I want to show you. So why it's complaining? See, the custom authentication and custom authentication state provider, actually I am injecting the new HTTP client, right? So that we have to just registered over here. Before over here we can just register builder dot services dot add HTTP client. So this is that actually that extension method which will helps to actually register our HTTP client easily. So we can use that, and now let me run it. Now it's running fine, right? And also if it is not logged in, which does not have any token and all, so it will redirect to that login page automatically. And just try to log in with this normal user. So I have a normal user, for example this is that normal user, right? And just logged in with user and password and logged in via. Once you logged in, now see I'm able to see this icon like hotel list. So click on the hotel list. Now I'm able to see, unable to do anything. There is a no restriction, right? I can able to add, I can thus click create and go back, right? That we can do that. And once I click that user list, right, we as of now we have that only logged in with that normal user. So once I click the user list, now see this is actually role-based authorization. So that is actually perfectly working fine. So whatever roles, if it is not match in this particular component, it will show me that not authorized. And there's another section if you want to hide this navigation if particular logged in. So what I already explaining, so you can just go to that navigation component and you can just set it that roles equal to admin, so that that navigation also won't be show it over here, right? Like this way. And let me just logged out, and once I logged out I am getting some error. Why I'm getting some error? So I missed that. Okay, see, this is login information, right? This is a nullable, but I'm trying to access of that property, so that is actually creating a problem. So what I need to do, simply I just put the question mark and save it and continue. So let me log in with the admin user. So this is my admin user, and this is my password, and sign in. So once you sign in, now I will to see that all that icon and click on the hotel list. Now I will to see that hotel list, that is perfectly working fine. And once I click that user list, so now see I am able to see that user information as well. And this is that actually see the admin role, admin user has an admin role, and this normal user has a KKP has a user role only, right? And this there is another user which does not have any other role, right? So that also we can manage over here easily. We can set it like for example HR and just update it. So we can easily update it over here. Now see I'm able to update it as well, because we have logged in with the admin user, so that user can manage all the user using that admin role, right? So like this way actually it is working. Like we have to implement our role-based authorization. And one more things we can do that over here, we have to check this is I have to check in our web applications, right? So that we have to check other application, for example Windows as well as that. So what I need to do, simply I have to check this MAUI project, right? And in this MAUI project I have to run this our Windows applications. So let me run it without debugging mode, so that I can show you all that application in together. So now my application got running. Now see, yes, so that is a nice things. So see now I'm running, but I am getting error. Actually it is error, but it is not showing over here, but it is error. That's why it is just showing the loading. Why it is error? Because so now see, if you go to that our this MAUI project, actually I have just registered over here. See, I just registered that HTTP client, right? So same thing we have to register in our MAUI project as well. So how we can do that? Go to that MAUI program.cs file, and here we have to just do that. There is a many way, but I will show you that one of the simple way. simplest way. So that simply I have to just using this guy like add scope HTTP client, and just register over here like this way, right? But yeah, we can use that whatever we have done in our web application, right? That extension method, that also we can try, but I am not actually try that, so that's why I'm just using this way. And now just try to run my application in our window application. So now see, this time is perfectly working fine, and also it's logged in. It is logged in, that's why it is giving that logged in information like kkp. So what I will do, simply logged out, right? And logged in with this kkp user, and what is my password, this is my password, and sign in. Once I sign in, now I have to check hotel list is working fine, this is perfectly. And once I click that user list, now I am not able to see that access because this is that logged in over here. So what I will do, simply logged out and logged in with this admin user. And what is my password, this is my password, sign in. So now once I click that user list, now I'm able to see that user list, and we can able to manage whatever the user. So like for example, this user can have this both URL, both role, like. So once I update, it should be update. Now see, it has got updated as well. So that is also working fine. Let me logged out this guy also, close it, and let me run in this mobile application as well. So choose that in my Android emulator and run this application. Now my application got deployed on the Android emulator, and it's try to running. Yeah, now it's running, and by default, if it is no token and all, so it will redirect to login page. And once I try to logged in, for example, normal user, right? So kkp@gmail.com, and whatever my password, and just add it over here and sign in. So once I sign in, it should be sign in, and now see, I'm logged in. And also if I click that hotel list, I should able to see that component perfectly working fine. And once I click that user list, now see, I'm not able to see because it is not authorized, right? This is expected. And once I logged out, let me logged out and logged in with this admin user. So let me logged in with this admin user with my normal password and sign in. So now it is also logged in with this admin user, and once I click that hotel list, it is also should work fine, and same things also should work for that user list. Now see, I'm able to see that user list as well, and I can easily maintain, like suppose for example I want to modify over here. Now see, this two user is got selected over here, so let me remove one. Like for example, I remove that this guy and choose this guy, selected this guy, and update. So once I update, it should be updated. Now see, now updated also, right? So that means that all that application is, means all that platform is supported this authorization, role-based authorization. So that's fine. And one more thing actually we have to do, that I can do. For example, if you go to that custom authentication provider class, means class over here. Now see one thing actually. So I okay, let me show you an example. Like for example, let me running this in a web application, and once you logged in, right, and once I F12 and that inspect over here network tab, go to that applications and click on that local storage. And now see, we have that is storing that unnecessary information as well, that we have to avoiding over here. For example, we have storing that credentials, right? So if you go to over here, now credential is completely fine. Like we have to record that once it created, once got expire, what is the token, and what is that provider and refresh token, that is completely fine. We can store this information. But if you see, I also storing this user information, right? That be not required, because everything we have to store is the claims, and that also handling using that claims and all, right? So this user informations is not required. So what I will do, I simply store only the credential information, and we will skip this information and other things, right? So that we have to do that. So how we can do that? It's simple. So where is my class? Now see, first go to my class over here, and here see information is fine, and this user auth, right? So this user is auth is not required, only credential is perfectly fine, right? So what I can do, simply I can just comment this code, right? And instead of this, let me copy these credentials and first go to that login, because we have to logged in. Once I logged in, then we have to store that information, right? So here see, once I logged in method, once I complete successfully logged in, so I just storing as a local storage using this user complete user information. But instead of complete user information, I have to use that, using that, store that credentials only. So what I will do, simply I just store this guy, and once I save it and just close that. I think it is just creating a problem, so close that, because it is debugging without debugging mode, right? So it is hot reloading is working. So what I will do, simply just storing this way, right? Once I store this guy, and what other place actually we have to using over here. So yeah, so see over here, like see, once I store, so we have to get it over here. So how we can get it? Simply I can get it from that deserialize with this, this credentials. And once I get that credentials, I simply, we don't define two credentials because it is a credentials property, right? It's credential object. So what I can do, simply I can just use this guy and token, and that's it, right? So this is actually just a modification to avoid that unnecessary data to in our local storage. Only we have to keep that token, so that nobody can just see that information using that inspect and all, right? So that's actually the security purpose perspective. We can do that, and let me run it and see the after changes, it is how it actually look like, right? So what I can do now, see, it is go, and I will just remove that whatever we have, that old one, so that we will remove, and just try to log in with that admin user or just another user like AKP user, logged in and sign in. And once I sign in, now I'm able to see it is behavior is working fine, there's no issue. But yeah, what actually information we are storing, now we have to check it. Now see, go to that application, go to that local storage, and this our application over here. And now this time, see, only we have to store that credential information like user token, refresh token, and that create time and expire time, right? So that's way actually we have to store. So that's all for this session. Have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share.